Right then, so a day in the life video and an initial review of the iPhone 13 Pro. Now my last phone was this. This is my iPhone X, and if I can just show you, you can see that everything today is going to be filmed on the iPhone 13 Pro. Unless I need to show some other overlays, in which case I'll put a little thing across the bottom to say it's not being filmed with that. I feel like to create a full, decent review, you need to have a product for a longer period of time. I've had this phone now for about 3 days, and I feel like it gives me a good foundation basis to create an initial first impressions video. So with this, I've got to be honest with you, the iPhone 13 Pro, the initial unboxing process was a little bit underwhelming, especially when you compare it to this. Now, the reason I say that is because there's less inside the packaging. Not only that, there's no single-use plastics and things like that, but there's not quite the satisfaction of opening the box. At the same time, inside the box, there wasn't the same types of things. The cord, I've not used it because the main socket doesn't have that USB-C attachment. Thankfully, I do have the iPad Pro, so I'm able to use that one, but it's just not as satisfactory. However, having said that, the phone itself is fantastic. Coming from the iPhone X to now the iPhone 13 Pro, it seemed a lot different, but I wasn't quite sure why it was different, how it was different. I did know that it was 120 Hertz, but I wasn't too sure what that meant. It's only when you then go back to the iPhone X that you realize, this is what the difference is between the two different screens. The 120 Hertz is leaps and bounds ahead, and it's really noticeable when you're doing things like scrolling on the phone. So in terms of the phone screen, that's a massive pro. Now, there's a few other things that I want to talk about throughout today, things like the screen and the brightness and why that's a benefit here, especially in Dubai. And then there's other things like the camera that I want to speak about a bit more throughout the day too. Before we do that, battery. Battery is one of those things that I've been absolutely blown away with. I really have. I've filmed a little bit before this video even started, so I want to show you that. Okay, so this is a little bit of a jump cut in the video. I knew at some point I'd need to talk about the phone's battery life. Now, since turning the phone on, I've used the phone for 4 hours and 50 minutes. I'm currently sitting with about a third battery life still remaining. And yeah, it's had 4 hours and something usage. And that's blown my mind because actually that's also with a little bit of standby included. Really impressed me. We're just gonna go straight for it. Macro mode. Let me show you. Okay, so we're using macro mode. As you can see, you can get really close, right up to the point where you can see where the little guy's dirty from all the different bits of use. We zoom into the eye. You can see the stitching. This guy's eye. So as you can see, macro mode is really impressive. I'm sure in the future I'll be able to think of some additional ways to bring these macro mode shots into videos and make things a little bit more interesting. It's really good if you're a day in the life video creator regularly and you're just using your iPhone to create content, to have those additional things available to you. Okay, so now I'm currently filming on cinematic mode. It'd be quite interesting to see how this camera does with picking up faces. I've not got anyone touching the focus mode behind me, so I just want to see how it does, especially with my face movement. If I turn away to the side, I'm hoping this little guy gets picked up, and then as I bring him down and bring me into it, I'm really hoping that my face gets picked up. Let's try it again. Okay, that actually blew me away, to be completely honest with you. I was really impressed by how that cinematic mode picked me up, especially with not having anyone to focus on certain areas. So just during break time now, and I'm currently making a video. Now, sometimes when I'm creating videos, I use my old phone because I don't want to set up the laptop and get all those sorts of things out. With my old phone, it would take me a long time to process the videos and it would get quite challenging. Nowadays, because of the processing power on the phone, it's a lot quicker to process the videos and be able to upload those quicker, saving me time, which is always appreciated. So it's the end of the working day and I forgot my AirPods. So I started playing some music through the speakers on the iPhone. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I swear compared to the iPhone X at least, and I think probably compared to newer phones, I've compared it to my partner's too, the speakers are significantly better on the iPhone 13 Pro. They are really clear, really clear. I can't say they're louder, but they're definitely clearer and quite pleasurable to listen to, especially when I have forgotten my AirPods Pro. So yeah, that's an additional benefit of the iPhone 13 Pro that perhaps hasn't been spoken about enough. Let me know if you've got an iPhone 13 Pro, and it'd be good to know whether you also think the same about your speaker quality. I'm currently using the front camera at the moment. I thought I'd just check on here what the front camera quality is like, especially with the internal audio that I'm using. So I'm having a little look around Dubai Mall at the moment, and then I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain one of the other pros I find with the iPhone 13 Pro. So I thought I'd jump into the sun for this next one, and we go back to the screen. Now, the screen is much brighter this year, which is only really beneficial in certain areas, and I tick that box. So here in Dubai, it's quite hard sometimes to see my older phone, my iPhone X. The screen isn't as bright. When you're in the sun and you have sunglasses on, yeah, it's a challenge. So to be able to have that and be able to see the screen brighter, it really is. It's a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it's still really beneficial to have that brighter screen and to be able to see it clearly in the sun when wearing glasses. Battery life at the moment is just over halfway, so that's fantastic. And I'm sure you'll agree that the camera quality from a phone, although it's hard to compare to other phones when I don't own one, it's brilliant. It really is. So before I summarize and finish this video, I just wanted to show you that amazing view. I think I'll round this video up by saying it is a huge improvement. In terms of the battery life, I'm finishing the day at around a third left on around 4.5 to 5 hours battery screen usage. Now, would I advise this? Would I suggest this as an upgrade over something like the iPhone 12 Pro, the iPhone 12? My partner's got an iPhone 12, and actually, there's not that many features that I would say are a significant benefit over the iPhone 12. So in terms of the camera quality, in my opinion, is still visibly, to me as an amateur, just as good. However, you do have the added benefits of things like macro mode and cinema mode, which are somewhat beneficial. However, it's definitely interesting and something that perhaps in terms of the macro mode needs improving, because there's this obvious jump between the two. Now, in terms of the screen, as I said before, I'm not too fussed about the 120 Hz display. However, the brightness improvement is definitely beneficial. For me, it was a bit of a no-brainer because my iPhone X was not working fully. It wasn't functioning as well as I initially had it when I first got it, and it struggles out here in the UAE. So for me, yeah, it's a no-brainer, and the camera quality, I think, speaks for itself, hopefully, within this video. So hopefully you find this video useful in some way. I find it really useful for there to be videos where it's actually just showing what life is like at sometimes, the normal mundane things, showing you what the camera quality and things like that can be like. Really hope this video has been useful for you. If it has, feel free to like it. That's always really appreciated. If you're new to the channel, I create a range of teaching, tech, and sometimes videos about life here in Dubai. So I really hope you liked the video. If you did, feel free to like it. That's always really appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I create a lot of different teaching, tech, and also life in Dubai videos too. So feel free to subscribe to the channel, and then hopefully I will see you in the next one. Until then, guys, I'm out.